the sport. Roger Federer, the Swiss Army knife, okay, his forehand was beyond epic. What I'd like to do is break it down microscopically. I did this about 15 years ago, okay. We're the worldwide leader in biomechanics, and I can explain step by step what's happening on Federer's forehand. If you watch when the ball comes over, like all great players, there's going to be a split step. The non-dominant hand is his best friend. Watch his left hand. After the split, he's doing a subtle run around here. His left hand's on the racket. He has his watch on. I don't think that's to help his timing, but it might. And then he releases. His left arm comes across the body. What that does is counterbalance the other side, okay? Very important when you keep the left hand on and you take the racket back. The left hand's pointing at the back fence, but when you go to hit the ball, you're going to let go. The left arm is parallel to the baseline. You can see it there. It counterbalances the other side. Now, when Federer takes the racket back, pretend there's a clock in front of you, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The racket should come out anywhere between 5 o'clock and 5:45. What's going to happen is you do the unit turn, okay, the racket goes back, and it's going to be elbow up. You can see the elbows up a little bit. Now there's going to be elbow extension. But look where the racket's going. It's going to the outside. The outside is where I said the clock was. Federer is around 5 o'clock or 5:15. A lot of other players are 5:30, 5:45. When you go to the outside, and you heard me coin this long ago, one of the first of the Mohicans, you're going to tap the dog. What I mean is the strings would be down like you're tapping a dog. You don't want to pet the dog, nothing against dogs, but you want to tap the dog. You would lay the hand to the outside. You can see the racket go down. Look how the racket's a little inverted. At 5:15, the leg drive initiates the racket. The racket is pulling through. People think you swing the racket, but you do not. The leg drive initiates the racket, and there's a pulling action. When the racket is orientated at 5:15, like Federer, when he pulls the racket goes down, then it flips back, and it hits what we call the dynamic slot. It hits the slot. It creates more racket speed on the hitting side of the body. What that does, you're going to get a shorter stroke because it's on this side of the body, not on the other side where you're making a semicircle like a majority of the WTA strokes. It's going to be on the hitting side of the body. It hits the slot quicker and faster. So if someone said, hey, I can make your stroke shorter, but I also can make it faster, I sign up for that one. Now, Federer's forehand is a little more unique because he has a hybrid grip. What I mean by that, he has between an Eastern and a semi-Western. Most players are semi-Western or Western. And because of this grip, he has a tendency to hit the ball a little flatter, a little tighter spin, and then his objective psychologically, he would take the ball on the rise, give you a surprise, knock out your eyes. He would hit the ball a little low over the net. And any juniors I had that got the great opportunity to hit with Federer, they said, Rick, it was easier to practice against the Joker or Rafa than Federer because I felt I had less time. So if you look at Federer's forehand, he has the unit turn, okay? The shoulders initiate the backswing. The racket goes to the outside, okay? The elbow extends to the right. If you're a right-handed player, around 5 o'clock, 5:15, 5:30, 5:45, if it's in that neighborhood and you pull the racket, it's going to flip down and back. If your racket's at 6, it won't flip. And obviously, if it goes on the other side of the body, you're making an arc, a loop, a rainbow, a banana, a candy cane, or a circle, and it's going to come around your body. It still works, but as you go down the yellow brick road, every coach is going to tell you, shorten your backswing, hit the ball in front, your elbow's too close. The ATP forehand, in my opinion, is mandatory for every coach to teach. It doesn't matter what age or size. I have kids 6 years old do this. Federer's a great great example. Another staple of Federer, people always talks about his head being still, a great corrective technique. Okay, people tell people to keep their head still like Federer. I do it a little different. When you hit the ball, see if you can see the back of the strings. I coined that 25 years ago. If you could look at the back of the strings go by, I guarantee your head will be still. Okay, and if your head is still, you're going to be on balance, and maybe someday you'll earn more allowance. Hello?